Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. The Tiger King star has risen back to the surface of social media.
And Evangel's band has a world of concerts on the horizon.
Aubrey Jackson is here with your forecast, and Preston Rosenberg has the latest in sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Right now we have Aubrey Jackson to give us a first look at the weather.
So we can see in our current conditions it is sunny and 47 degrees, so a little bit chillier than what we've been experiencing this past week. Our humidity is down to 70% and winds have risen to 11 miles per hour moving north. We can see today's conditions are mostly sunny with a high of 57. So we are expecting some cooler temperatures later this week, and we'll get back to more on that on the later forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. I'm excited for the cold weather. This past week we had like 80-degree weather. I was not having fun. It did not feel like fall.
I know, it's like one day's 80 and then the next day's 50.
Yeah.
I hope sometime we can like kind of steady through the temperatures. But I guess we'll know a little bit more during Aubrey's full forecast.
Shaniqua Owens joined 80 other veterans nationwide receiving a new vehicle through the Keys to Progress program. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, approximately 40% of the veterans live in rural areas with limited affordable transportation options. Owens shared that since receiving the car this past week, her and her family have had such an easier time getting around for preparations for the holidays. The goal is not only to spread awareness to the need, but also to allow veterans to feel loved in just one of many ways the community can help make that possible. Owens also received gifts for her and her children from Amazon along with the car. Capitol Police arrested an armed individual near the Russell Senate office building on Tuesday. The police say the person appeared to have a long gun and was in the Upper Senate Park across from the Union Station. The Capitol Police posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, that the suspect is in custody and police are searching the person's belongings. A law enforcement source says the person did have to be tased during the arrest, and they're checking cameras to see where the suspect might have come from. Capitol Police also posted that they have no reason to believe they're an ongoing threat to the Capitol, so the Capitol has gone back to acting on normal grounds for now.
The star of the 2020 docuseries Tiger King and Tiger King himself, Bhagavan Doc Antle, pleaded guilty to wildlife trafficking and money laundering charges. In court, the Tiger King admitted to directing the sale or purchase of several animals that are protected under the Endangered Species Act. These animals included 2 cheetah cubs, 2 lion cubs, 2 tigers, and 1 juvenile chimpanzee. To house these animals, the Tiger King owns a private zoo in South Carolina called Myrtle Beach Safari, which was featured in the docuseries Tiger King. The 63-year-old faces up to 5 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000, and 3 years of supervised release for each count. On Monday, Evangel held their annual Harvest Fest auditions. Matthew Kellerstrass has more on the story.
That Evangel does every fall, where they showcase the talent of different individuals and groups among the school. Many bands, singers, comedians, and other acts made an appearance. Here are some words from one of the band's drummers.
I have 2 acts for Harvest Fest. One of them is a band with 2 of my friends, and we're all recording tech majors. The other one is with the same group of people, but then we added another guy, and except we're all on different instruments that time. I would love to travel and play musically. I'm in a band right now, and especially if I could use my talents for God as well. So I'd love to play drums or sing or play piano, whatever God has for me. So yeah.
There was a great turnout of auditions with countless remarkable acts. They will be performing at the event on Saturday, November 11th. Even with the abundance of judges, all their performers managed to put on a show with their auditions.
I am doing Driver's License by Dylan Marlowe, so it's kind of like a country version of the pop song by Olivia Rodrigo. I just really like how emotional it sounds, and I just really feel I can express my voice through it. I've been singing and playing guitar since I was probably in like elementary school.
If you missed this year's auditions, make sure you start practicing for next year's. But if you're not a performer, make sure you come out to the Harvest Fest, November 11th, and grab a ticket on the Evangel Connect app for $7. For Newswatch Today, my name is Matthew Kellerstrass.
Evangel's newest student-led revival nights are riding a grand opening high, and Gunnar Brooks has more on the story.
Revival Nights, hosted by a team of Evangel students, is a special opportunity to have an intimate interaction with the Lord. This takes place in one of the academic buildings on campus in a popular lecture room, Zimmerman 105. Chloe Klein, who is over the leadership of Revival Nights, has a heart for the students of EU and hopes to see a lot more growth with this ministry. She has a heart for the hungry and wants to express that through Revival Nights.
So Revival Nights, basically, it just gives the students an opportunity to come in and to be able to worship God and to be able to praise God without a time limit, to be able to come in and not have to worry about an agenda or certain schedules or classes and things like that. So
the students who attend these Revival Nights enjoy the opportunity to worship and to hear from a speaker on a smaller scale with no schedule or time restraint. This event gives another opportunity to be poured into spiritually in a unique way on campus. Freshman Peyton Penman shares what Revival Nights mean to him.
I think it's great. I think it's really a cool place to come and minister to the heart of the Lord, and then to see what He's doing here in the hearts of the students at Evangel, and just give us another place to come together and corporately worship. It's a great way to just come in and just really, it's a different experience. You get to learn the way of the Holy Spirit just being in a room with a small amount of people.
Revival Nights were a success with the Holy Spirit revealing Himself in this room this past weekend. Revival Nights are every first Friday and Saturday of every month. To learn more, come to the next Revival Night on December 2nd at 6 p.m. For Newswatch Today, I'm Gunnar Brooks reporting.
On November 7th at 7 p.m., Evangel hosted its annual band recital at the Barnett Recital Hall in the Fine Arts Building. The recital gave the Evangel students who participate in band activities a chance to perform in front of their friends and family, and to produce a spectacular performance that was music to everyone's ears. From soaring symphonies to toe-tapping tunes, the audience was treated to a night with exceptional talent, leaving a lasting impression on everyone in attendance. Freshman Nick Hamp talks about his favorite part about being in the band.
I think my favorite part about being in the band is all the money that I'm getting right now. It is probably the people. I think all of the bands that I've been in, the ones that I've enjoyed the most, it's been the instructor that I'm being instructed by, the people that I'm surrounded with. I think I could have amazing performances every day of my life, but if I'm not enjoying the people that I'm doing it with, then it's not worth it.
The next time that you may hear from the Evangel Band would be the Christmas concert coming up on December 1st.
After hours upon hours spent practicing and rehearsing, the Jazz Combo and Jazz Band will perform tonight at 7:30 in the Barnett Recital Hall. This 75-minute-long performance will make the audience groove to the rhythm of jazz as they perform a variety of pieces. Each song, unique in their own way, will showcase the talent and the dedication of the Jazz Combo and Jazz Band. We hope that you'll support your peers in the bands as you join us for the Jazz Band concert tonight at 7:30. This is a musical event that you won't want to miss. Up next, a new friend was added to the St. Louis Zoo.
And we'll have a special guest come to talk about Evangel football. We'll hear more on that when we get back from this break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
The Como Park Zoo and Conservatory in St. Paul, Minnesota has welcomed a new baby giraffe, born Monday night. This calf has not yet been named. This is the third calf born to 7-year-old mother Zinnia. The birth of this baby marks the 4th member of the zoo's growing herd of giraffes. According to the zoo, the calf was already standing next to its mother less than an hour after birth. This giraffe is expected to make its public debut in the next few weeks. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thank you, Lilia. Evangel is headed straight into the postseason football as an undefeated team. And with us today to talk more about that is Dominique Puentes. Thank you for joining us today, Dom.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Well, we're really excited you're here. And the first thing I really want to know about is your position on the team and like what that kind of looks like.
So I'm a defensive tackle on the team, and I'm also the team captain. It comes with a lot of responsibility because just as a captain, you know, we're constantly trying to lead our team towards Christ, and we're constantly trying to just bring the energy because as the season continues to go on, it gets harder to bring that same energy, that same effort, that same concentration every day. And so as captains, we have to make sure that, you know, we're holding the standard so we get where we want to get.
Yeah. So I'm just assuming you haven't always been a captain. So what does it kind of look like, the difference between coming from a regular player to a captain position?
It's a lot more commitment. Just given, as a regular player, you're not really focused about everybody else around you. You're focused more about yourself and your performance. But as a captain, you have to focus on yourself and all the people around you. So you have to make sure everybody has energy every day. You have to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to, locked in classes. And so it's a lot more responsibility than being a normal athlete.
Yeah, but would you say that it's fun or stressful?
I would definitely say it's stressful. I'd lean towards stressful just because, you know, taking care of a lot of people, you have to, in a sense, you have to take care of them on the field and off the field. So, like, if any personal stuff is happening with any of our teammates, we have to make sure that, like, we're checking in on them.
Yeah.
And on the field, you know, also making sure, motivating them, not always just getting on them. So
being at Evangel, does that include the spiritual life of the players? Are you kind of checking in on them in that aspect, or is there someone else dedicated to that?
It's just an all-around sense. I think in everything, our motive is definitely spiritual. So, like, in any type of advice that we give, any motivation, any encouragement, it's always aimed back to God.
That's awesome. So how would you say that you balance school and football being, you know, you've said captain is a big commitment, but how do you balance that on top of being a full-time student?
It's definitely taken some time. So freshman year did not do that very well. But up to this point, I think it's gotten pretty easy just because I have my setup time. Like anytime that I'm not doing football stuff, it's dedicated to classwork. And if that's not out of the way, then I don't do anything else. So just kind of focusing on my priorities and knowing what I have to get done.
Yeah. So kind of switching it up just a little bit, coming back to the team, could you kind of describe the environment of the team as teammates and players?
I would say the environment is, being here 4 years, it's really positive. We're almost like a family. And I'd say Christ at the center of that just because we have some amazing leaders on the team.
Would you say that transfers off the field?
Yes, I would say it transfers off the field. I think you just see it in the way that guys interact, like with each other outside of football. Because the reality is they don't have to be friends. They don't have to talk to each other outside of football. But the thing is they choose to talk to each other. They choose to be friends. They choose to do things outside of, you know, our sport.
Yeah. So back on the field, does that environment impact how you guys choose to play or how the game ends up becoming the score? Like, does that impact any of that?
I think it does, just because we're way more committed to each other. So when we're on the field, it's not just about what we're doing. It's about who we're playing for, who we're doing it for. And so it definitely brings a lot more motivation knowing that your brothers are out there selling out every play.
Yeah. So what is your major outside of football? What's your major?
I'm a psychology major.
Okay. So what do you plan to do with that?
I plan on being a counselor one day and starting my own private practice.
So is football just a fun little side thing that you like to do while at school?
So football was kind of my avenue into getting to school. It basically paid for me getting here, and yeah.
But you love it. You love to do it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think you have to love it to an extent to be able to commit to it the way we do.
To put up with all of that. I would agree. I would agree. All right, so now that the team's going kind of into our postseason games, what do you think you're expecting for the team from a captain standpoint, but also just from a player?
I think I'm expecting us to just continue to work, to continue to, honestly, we all believe that God has gotten us this far, just especially, I don't know if you know about the last game, just that miracle play. So we just expect to continue to keep the main thing, take it one game at a time, lock into every practice that we have, do the details, and then just keep each other healthy. And so hopefully it gets us far.
What would you say the secret is to keeping the team healthy, awake, ready to go, excited to play?
I would say it's taking it one day at a time, one play at a time, one moment at a time, and not getting too stuck in what's coming, but, you know, just where we're at in the moments.
And what's your favorite thing about being on the team?
It's definitely the people. We have great people, especially the captains that I'm surrounded by. For example, Bradley Myers, he's a great guy. Every time on the field, he has this little saying. He said, like in between plays, he'll say, honor God, and then we say back, he's going to honor us. And so just being surrounded by amazing men like that is great.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Dom. We are so glad that you came in, that we got to learn more about the football team, life as a student, and everything in between.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the desk with Lilia and Aubrey.
Thanks, Cameron. So Aubrey, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
I know we've definitely had some warmer weather this last week, but hopefully we can see that it's going to cool down, and we'll take a look at that in my full forecast.
We'll be right back after this break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
After years of teaching and then years in retirement, 91-year-old Norma Jean Dawn still impacts her previous students. Adam Klepp reported that when Dawn's former student Carmen ran into her at a grocery store a decade ago, they decided to reconnect. The former teacher and student started to have lunch together and reminisce on old times and continue to learn together. These monthly lunches, Klepp reports, led Carmen to think her classmates should join. Dawn says that she's still teaching them a thing or two, making her students happy to come back to class just once a month.
Well, that's a super sweet story. I love hearing when they reconnect, when they get to go back in time, kind of live that life again. But you know what I did not love? The hot weather that we had all week. It's supposed to be fall. What was that? I don't know.
I know, it's been really hot this week. I sure hope we can have some cooler days ahead. What can you tell us about that, Aubrey?
Well, Cameron, Lilia, your hopes will be answered, seeing as we have a 20-degree drop in our weather forecast this week. Let's take a look at it. We can see our current conditions, sunny and 47 degrees, so nice and chilly with our humidity down to 70% and our winds up to 11 miles per hour moving north. Our current conditions today are going to be mostly sunny with the high of 57 degrees, and our humidity is going to stay about the same as well as our winds. For today's almanac, we can see a low of 36 and a high of 57. So we've already really reached that high, and it isn't going to get much hotter for the rest of the day. Our average temperatures, you can see we've reached quite similar temperatures to our averages. So the averages of 38 to 60 are very close to what we have now. So we're very close to the averages that we've seen in previous months. Our record temperatures we can see go up to 83, so that means yesterday with our highs in the mid 80s, we have broken those records, but nowhere near our records of lows with that 21 degrees. We can see the precipitation has risen slightly over today because we have 0.14% coming in with a slight rain this afternoon. For our satellite, we can see some precipitation moving north and northeast, moving in from this Dallas area to the east coast. So we can see that our Missouri and Springfield area will be slightly affected, especially this afternoon, because these precipitations are moving this way, we can see. And here in our southern Missouri area, it will slightly be affected this afternoon with some precipitation. Let's take a look at our radar. For our radar, we can see some of those same precipitation with this Dallas area and most of Texas experiencing some pretty heavy rain. It's moving here up east, and we can see that some of it is going to hit our southern Springfield area, so possibly be prepared for some showers later this afternoon. Moving back, we can see our high temperatures for today. Springfield is a nice 57 degrees, so a nice cool fall day versus what we've had this last few weeks of the 70s and 80s degree weather. We can see other areas such as Columbia are also 57, and then other areas in the south are 60 and 59. So we can see it's definitely cooled down. For our national forecast, we can also see that precipitation moving northeast and our southern area getting more of the rain, so be prepared for that this afternoon. We can also see some of these warmer waters bringing in some of this precipitation here, and then some of the colder weather we have quite a mix of here north, so it is going to possibly snow north, but none of that for Missouri quite yet. For our 6-day forecast, you can see it is extremely even across the board. We have about the 20-degree drop in weather that we mentioned earlier, with our lows in the mid to high 30s and our low 40s. And then our highs are going to be in the 60s throughout the entire week, with nice fall weather of sunny to mostly sunny or partly cloudy. That's it for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. You know, maybe I'm just ready for winter. It's just, I'm not being pleased. The 60 degrees still feels warm to me.
It does feel a little bit warm, but at least I'm glad that it's steadying out and we have similar temperatures throughout the week. Just around the corner, Preston Rosenberg will be here to give us the latest in sports.
This and more when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
With the help of 2 powerful telescopes, NASA has detected the most distant and oldest black hole ever found. Data captured through energetic X-rays by the X-ray Observatory and James Webb Space Telescope helped astronomers spot a growing black hole within the early universe. They estimate the black hole formed 470 million years after the Big Bang, believed to be 13.8 billion years ago. The discovery was described in a study published Monday in the journal Nature Astronomy. Astronomers hope the discovery will help them better understand how submissive black holes appeared and reached their monstrous masses so soon after the beginning of the universe. You know, it's kind of crazy to me that we are finding discoveries that have been there 470 million years, but we're just now finding them.
Right, I can't even fathom how long ago that possibly could have been.
It's kind of weird to think that there are things out there that have been there forever, but we're just now there's still more to discover.
Right, exactly.
Kind of crazy. Well, talk about that being an out-of-world discovery. There's also someone who's making a big impact in the NBA. Preston, what can you tell us about that?
Yes, Cameron. NBA rookie phenomenon Victor Wembanyama caught the eyes of many in preseason, but many believed that he could not live up to the hype. Standing at 7'4", Wemby is truly a sight to see. Through 8 games, he is averaging 18 points and 8.5 rebounds. With 74 games to go, Wembanyama looks to surge in his rookie campaign. Is it time to panic in Buffalo? The Buffalo Bills have been a powerhouse in the AFC, but have struggled to follow through. The Bills' defense has allowed 370 yards per game since Week 5, and also allowed an average of 21 points per game. Quarterback Josh Allen has thrown 9 interceptions. Although Buffalo has 5-4 record, a change may need to occur if these trends keep up. On September 11th, Aaron Rodgers suffered a torn Achilles tendon. During the first drive of the Jets season, the average return time of that injury is between 6 to 9 months, unless you're Aaron Rodgers. In a post-game exchange on Monday night, Rodgers was asked when he was returning and responded, "Give me a few weeks." The Jets are currently 3rd place in the AFC East in need of an Aaron Rodgers return. On Tuesday night, the Women's Valor Volleyball hosted the first round of the KCAC playoffs. The 6-seeded Valor faced off against 11-seeded Avila. Evangel hit .321 in the first set, recording 11 kills and just 2 errors. With the late surge, the Valor capped off a 3-set sweep to advance to the semifinals. Evangel will take on 3-seeded Bethel on Friday in Hutchinson, Kansas. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Preston. You know, our volleyball team's killing it. Our football team's killing it. I feel like Evangel is just on a roll right now.
I know, it shows kind of the support of the teammates and how that truly translates into success. When we get back, the police implement further training for deputies.
And Aubrey is with us for one final look at the forecast. All this and more when we return.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
The Department of Justice gave Christian County nearly $70,000 for training for deputies. It's called the de-escalation training. The grant money will be put towards a state-of-the-art simulation system where deputies can get real hands-on experience without putting themselves in harm's way. Sheriff Brad Cole says that as society learns more and more about the intersections of mental health and law enforcement, he wants to give his deputies the tools to protect themselves and the people they serve safely. With the new simulation software, they'll get invaluable experience making split-second decisions with real-life and real-time reactions from the scenario. Once the program is up and running, the department can get their trainers trained. They plan to open the simulation to the neighboring departments to share the wealth and the knowledge. I think it's a really big deal that we're bringing in this simulation, that we're upping the game so that we can make sure that our police are trained, but that they're trained safely for the real life scenarios.
Exactly. This not only protects everyone else in the scenario, but it really protects the police officers and encourages them to keep going safely.
I agree.
Aubrey, can you tell us any more about next week's weather?
Of course I can. Thanks, Lilia. Thanks, Cameron. We can see in our 6-day forecast here some really nice fall temperatures after that drop in temperature we had earlier this week. Today is the first day of our lows of 30s and highs of 60s, and we can see it's really even across the entire week, moving slightly hotter until next week on Wednesday, but staying pretty even in those 60s. It's going to be sunny to partly cloudy throughout the week, so not too hot, not too cold, and definitely cooler than what we've seen in the past. So let's hope it sticks around for more fall weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. That's all for us today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. This has been Newswatch Today. Please join us next week. For more on EUTV and the latest evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com.